What are your thoughts on being a dad?
It's funny that you bring this up. I was processing this over the weekend. So it's like a 7 hour, it was about a 6 hour drive from Colorado Springs to Telluride. And I remember this like vivid moment, we're like 5 hours into the drive. And I was thinking about like being a dad and how much my identity is wrapped up in it. And normally, like you hear, like, oh, don't you have your title be your identity and don't have this be your identity. And then I started thinking about fatherhood. I was like, that should totally be like very alive in my identity. And same thing like being a husband for me personally. And so it's something that I want to be excellent at all the time. And I know I'm going to have like failures and everything. But this weekend, it was, Laura and I, my wife, we had a ton of time thinking about parenthood. We had a ton of time thinking about being the best versions of ourselves for our kids. And I'm like proud and I want being a dad, like one of the leading things as part of my identity, and not being, ashamed of that, fearful of that, just embrace it fully. So that's what's top of mind right now, just really leaning into that all the time. There's times where I make decisions in my life. I'm like, am I being the best leader for so and so? Or am I making the best business decision? And I think I need to interject the same level of discipline and intentionality around, am I being the best father with this decision? Even if I'm making a business decision, even if I'm making something to prioritize on my own, like, day-to-day habits. And so it's just part of like the first thing in a decision making criteria of like, am I being the best father that I can be? Is this going to take me away from my family, or is it going to enable something with my family? And so when I think about that, it's just one of the primary criteria that the lens that I look through for every decision that I make. And I mean, just like everybody, I fall very, very short, very, very frequently. However, trying to always train myself to be honoring that role and making sure you can feel that, in the decisions that I make on a daily basis.